There is not one child that you can look at and go, ugh, that one's crummy. They're all beautiful and unique and wonderful. That is who we are. We are wonderful. We are bright and shining. And there's nobody out there except ourselves that can tell you that you're not. So if you said that to me, oh, Mary, you're worthless. If I didn't have a piece of me that felt worthless, I can honestly look at Gigi and go, you know what? Poor Gigi is having a bad day.
Yeah, she must have some issues within herself to put that out there,
Yes.
right?
Because when somebody says these things to us, all it's doing is hitting a button that says, oh my gosh, I actually believe that. There's a part of us that actually believes that. Otherwise, we'd go, wow, you're really having an off day. Because if that doesn't resonate with me at all, it's never going to penetrate. It can't.
Yeah.
Because what you're saying doesn't fit with how I see myself inside.
Exactly. Oh, that's where people can get fooled and things can build up that aren't true. They hear these messages that aren't really serving.
No, not only are they not serving, they're actually lies. I can't tell you how many times, Gigi, I work on a client and they're telling me these things. I've been told I'm worthless. Oh my gosh, I'm no good. I'm never going to amount to anything. And I will look at them and I'll say, you've been fed lies. And you don't have to believe those lies anymore.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Oh, I just get so excited. I want you to be able to sprinkle everybody with this. But I know that we have a clip that Fred is ready to roll with for us, and it is on, can you imagine, Rage with Dr. Rosenberg, and we'll be right back.
Last question, and then I'm going to get into the subject that I'd like to cover before the end. Yes.
You talk about having, let's see, that someone else cannot cause our emotional pain.
That's right.
And I think about the abuse that I grew up with and that I see in a lot of families, and the suffering that I've experienced throughout my life, through my recovery and all that.
And other people were a stimulus for your suffering, and you were a participant by how you dealt with it. For example, if you followed me in my work, you would see this very clearly. In places like Rwanda, Burundi, Sierra Leone, I'm working with people that have had their families killed. Some of those people have such rage that all they live for, moment by moment, is the possibility of vengeance. Others have no anger, have never had anger. Same exact stimulus. They have deep feelings, but not rage. So it is not the stimulus that determines how our emotional reaction is. That part is up to us. I work with some women, unfortunately a lot, who've been raped. And some of them feel shame, deep shame. Some feel rage. Some feel other things. So the same stimulus depends how people take it, whether they feel shame, rage, or other things. I'm working with a woman from Rwanda who she heard her 3 children being killed because she got to underneath the sink, hid underneath the sink in time. Her children didn't make it to the hiding place in time. They got killed. She heard them. She heard her husband being killed and her brother. She had to stay underneath there 11 days to save her own life because they stayed in the house after they killed the family. This woman has deep feelings, but never once has she had the kind of anger that makes her want to get vengeance. She's put all of her feelings, and lots of them, into preventing this happening to anybody else. You see? So the way she looked at it leads her to want to prevent this happening to anybody else. She came to my workshop because she wanted to know how to deal with the rage toward her from other people in her tribe who are furious with her that she won't join their efforts to kill the other people. Same stimulus, quite different reactions.
Okay, so I had this stimulus, and somewhere I learned how to deal with it in the way that I had dealt with it, and I'm learning to change that now.
Yes. The worst thing, of course, would be, no matter how you did choose to deal with it, is to think there was something wrong with how you chose to deal with it. I'm not wanting us to get into one way is right or wrong. I'm just saying that no matter what happens to us, the other person's responsible for what they did. I'm not saying the other person doesn't have responsibility.
That's my question about accountability.
That person's responsible for what they did and why they did it. We're responsible for how we deal with that. Okay? Let's get in.
I'm just wondering how a child becomes responsible. I mean, still, children.
The first thing I do is I wouldn't want to teach the child the lesson I just taught you until I had given that child all the empathy that child needed, and I would guess it would be a lot. So I can see myself dealing with a long time of hearing this child's enormous pain as a result of this. But then, in the course of this, I would be seeing this child having some pain created by how they looked at it. So I would see that they're creating pain on top of pain by how they looked at it. So, after the child had all the empathy he or she needed, then I would do what I could to get them to see it in a way that wouldn't create unnecessary pain for themselves. This is a baby jackal, yes.
Oh, thank you, Fred, for picking out that clip. It's just perfect for our show, as usual. And that's your expertise, getting rid of those layers of pain that people acquire, and it causes them to act in ways that not only others don't enjoy, but they themselves don't.
Oh, I loved that clip, because when he was talking about how when you're dealing with a child, and you know what, even every adult I work with, there's that child inside. Somebody else has caused them pain. But it's also how they look at themselves then after that has been repeated or said over and over again. Or if a child is sensitive, and that's a good thing in my world, being sensitive to the things around you is a good thing. The world will say, ugh, don't be so sensitive. We want people to be sensitive to other people. We want that attunement with each other.
Compassion.
Compassion, that connection.
Yeah.
So when somebody has said something that has really hurt you or brought up negativity within you, because anger, rage, it's the way I've seen it is it's underneath it, it's a secondary emotion. First, there's hurt and or fear. They're both underneath the anger or rage. So if somebody has said something that's damaged you, what people tell themselves afterwards is so much worse than what that original person has said. The one thing I can tell people too is we are not our stories. Oh, this person did this to me, and then da-da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da-da. That's not who you are. It's something that's happened to you, but it's not who you are. And this is also why I like Eckhart Tolle when he talks about it's a pain body, because he's distinguishing that pain body is not who you are. That pain is not you. It's a reaction to something that's happened to you, but it's not truth. It might be actual events of accuracy,
yes,
but the pain body is not who you are, and it's not your truth. So when you start to understand that, and you find enough value in yourself to say, I'm not going to live with this pain body any longer, we can actually, if you come to me or people that I've trained, we can actually clear out that pain body. Let me describe what happens. Now, this is the energy side of it. So I was talking earlier how we were all created like children, without exception. Every person on this planet was created to be bright and beautiful and wonderful, and sky's the limit. There's no limitations. Our energy field that surrounds us, people are actually experts in energy. I may know how to work with it, but every single one of us, when we're around somebody negative, we can feel it. We're an expert. We can feel it immediately. You don't even have to say words. When somebody's putting out a lot of head, like I was telling you about the